What is going on, guys? I'm G205 Gundam here, and today I'm going to be taking a look at the 1144th high grade Gundam Barbatos. Now, never ask me why I have a wrist protector. I am wearing a wrist protector. I'll do that in a vlog. But anyways, let's get on to the review. Now, this is the first kit that came in the HGIBO high grade Iron Blooded Orphans line. Now this kit is what I find to be the most simple Gundam builds in all of high grade history, and I find it the cheapest of all high grades as well, because like the normal RX-782 high grade, like the old high grade is like $80 something for me, like HKD, but this one is $65 when I bought it, so it's quite cheap, and it has a fully functional inner frame like the real grades, but much simpler obviously. And as you can see, it does not have stomach armor. The back of the head doesn't have any armor, and if you remove the backpack, the whole back does not have any armor. So yeah, one thing you can do is you can put the Denial Gundam's adapter onto the backpack to use other backpacks. And yeah. And obviously now the back of the legs does not have any armor, it's just some piping through. And this is its first form, like when it first came out from the anime. And for stickers, now on this form you have the eyes, the power button on the chest, the power buttons on the knees, two stickers each, now one strip and the second strip, and one for the back of the backpack, and red and black, which turns out to be thrusters on the side skirts, and also the verniers on the knees. And yeah, these tend to suck. Now the paint is wearing off, and the stickers are not sticking very well because they fold onto such small surfaces, so it does not hold it very well. So that's all the stickers in this form for the Gundam Barbatos. Now for the articulation, now the head can go up. Now it's kind of tight on mine. It can go up and down. It can go forwards and back. It can rotate all the way around. Now this flap can move, which is useful later. The actual arm joints can move out that far without the shoulder armor. Rotate above the elbow. Bend at the elbow at one joint, but you can get a decent amount of motion. Now for this arm also, it can do the same. Same as the alternate arm for the left arm. Now, they did something quite interesting. Now in the torso, there is a joint that allows the Barbatos to move back and forth. So that compensates for the piping and the lack of stomach articulation, and it just have a waist joint here, so it can just rotate and kind of wiggle about. So this compensates the lack of stomach articulation. Now the front skirts can move separately because I cut them, they mold together. Side skirts are on hinges, back skirts are stationary. The legs can go forward and back separate from the waist. They can go forwards, backwards, outwards. The knees are double jointed. Now the ankles. Now the ankles are remarkably articulate, just because they are kind of better than the high grade 00 Gundam. Now first, this armor flap can move, the toe can move down and up, like a very few amount of the high grades can move the toe up. But now this ball joint can rotate all the way around just like the 00, but what makes this the Gundam that's better than the 00 is this. It has crazy ankle articulation. Crazy amounts. I don't know why you need it. I think it's over articulate to somebody, but it does kind of set a spot on it for the leaderboard of the Limbo champion. So the Gundam Barbatos is pretty good in articulation, but just like the real Grace, you need to tamper with the ankles just to get it standing. Now, the first weapon that it came with in the anime is its mace. Now, it's not like the medieval maces that you have a chain which you can swirl around like a Gundam hammer. This one is just a solid hammer. So, the Gundam Barbatos, you can just slide it in. I'm pretty sure the instructions tell you to take off the hand cover and slide it in. You don't have to. Well, just because it doesn't want you to wear off the bottom bit. But then you can hold it without any weight issues. So it can do like the pose, which it always does in the Gunpla Expos, which is you can put the mace over the shoulder. Now, it does hold it in two hands remarkably easy now, because I find that like the 007 Sword's GM Buster Sword or the real great Ashray's Katana, it cannot do it very well, but this with this long handle, it can do it. And I also forgot to mention that the thruster moves. I didn't even bother to check this when I was building it. And it does kind of have a shield here. So now let's move on to a transformation. But before that, you get two of these adapters. So you can just plug it onto the Barbatos backpack. And the mace can just slide onto it. But it's kind of loose. So if you want to play with it around, you cannot do that when you have the weapons mounted. But if you want to have a regular pose, like when the Barbatos is just standing here with the weapons mounted, you can do it without it falling off. And I suggest you that there are some rigid points or something. So use those points to clamp onto the backpack's adapters. So the friction will react more. Now let's transform it into its fourth form. Now, like in the promotional video, the Barbatos would detach its entire arm. And comes these. These are the shoulder armors of the Gundam Barbatos. So you can just peg them on. Now I believe that these are some extra thrusters for the shoulder armors that's supposed to be yellow. I didn't bother to color them just because it's just too much work for me. And you have the alternate arm, which is the same as the right arm. So you can just peg it on. And I don't know why, but they did not bother to make an other hand. So you just unplug this and plug it back onto the new arm. Now this is the Gundam Barbatos fourth form. Now you may eventually wear out the wrist, so I recommend to not do that very often. So in the promotion video, the Gundam Barbatos fourth form uses a long sword, not a katana, just a long sword. Now it's fully engraved while the blade should be silver. I didn't bother to color it. Yeah, again, it's too much work. And I'm pretty sure they tell you to take off the hand cover and slide it in, but you don't have to. You can just wiggle it in. There you have it wielding the long sword. And you can barely have both hands holding it. And you can also store it on the backpack. Like so. So that's all the accessories for the normal Gundam Barbatos if I didn't get the custom set and the other two mobile suits, which I'm gonna compare it to right now. So for comparisons, we have the normal high grade grays, and we have the McGillis grays. So this is part 1 of the Gundam Barbatos review.